The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Hello guys, very early in the morning. Welcome back to my science, health, music vlog. Okay, this is again Sotero. Okay, our topic for today is not very complicated, but we need to know also the relevance of this once in a while because we don't know really also it will come out of the examination or we need to meet this kind of terminology we can understand also. Okay? Things like that. Okay. So not familiar, but it doesn't need to know, but additional knowledge. You get the point? I have here four questions. Question number one. Actually, this I will explain it this way. So we have this unit is popular in burning food substances in our body. It's gonna be burning of calories, but here to be specific, we have okay in math, but in science it doesn't have relevance that much based on my research. Okay, so we have the big calorie and the small calorie. Okay, and small calorie because we don't know also this will trick you up in the examination. Okay, get the point, especially if it will not mention in uh, food substances because I found out in my research, but if we mean food substances automatic, we need to follow the standards, the normal way of understanding of calorie, things like that. But if not mentioned, we're opted to be, strict in our conversion. You get the point? Things like that. For example, how many, for the purpose only of discussion, how many calories will be generated by a 25 horsepower motor pump? It looks like strange because the calories unit are applied for food, but there are also examinations that help you to measuring you if you know how really to convert one unit over the other, not necessarily subject to reality, only hypothetical. The main point only is to understand how to convert one unit from another unit. You get the point? Things like that. It looks like strange, right? Because the unit, we know the unit of electrical motor pump or diesel fuel motor pump are not really expressed in calories, right? But it is possible because calorie also is unit of energy. Then we can convert that later on. You get the point? Things like that. Okay? Mga palangga kong hitad, it's gonna be like that. So how can we do that? Okay? So formula was joules per second. And then joules calorie. Joules to calorie. Game bingo. Daog pasok sa banga. Okay? Because we know that, let's say 1 horsepower is equal to 746 watts. Then we know that 1 watt is equal to 1 joule per second. So 1 joule is equal to 4.18 for calorie. No, 1 calorie is equal to 4.84 joules. 4.184 joules. Then there's still second remaining. So it depends on your basis of calculation. If you try to compute that according to 1 day, then you have also converted in seconds. Like that, right? Get the point. So 24 hours is equals to 1 day. How many seconds? Then multiply that with seconds. Then cancel. What will be left completely is the unit of your energy. Things like that. Okay? The emphasis here, having relevance here, but only the case of tricking you out or tricking out the examinees. Things like that. Okay? So, okay. So this is good for those who will become, to those who want to become a top notcher. Okay? Because they're aiming to have a perfect score. Okay, you got the point? Things like that. So number one, how many big calorie in 25,100 small calorie? So we need to specify talaga, no? But if you will see also the appearance of the letters, big and capital and small letter. You can understand also, right? Oh, number 2. Pala ko gamay okay, makita ko sa video. Charot. How many calorie in 78.5? How many small calorie in 78.5 big calorie? Wow. Number 3. How many big kilocalorie? Charot. Diba? In 1,875 small calories. May ganun ba siya mga palangga? Yes. Okay. And then, how many gram calorie in 1 kilocalorie? Really? Okay. You get the point, mga palangga akong hitad? O, ganun siya. Okay? So, it's gonna be like that. Okay. So, that. We know that, let's say, 1 small calorie is equals to 1, okay? No, it's not like this, 1,000. Calorie is equals to 1,000 kilocalorie, 1 kilocalorie, right? It's easy, because kilo is 10 raised to the power 3, right? That's why it will become 1,000. Now here, 1 big calorie is equal to 1,000 calorie, small calorie. Nakakaloka. So meaning to say, 1 big calorie is equal to 1 kilocalorie. Small calories. You will confuse already. All you have to do is detect the appearance of your letters during examination. If it is written in big letter, the conversion will change. If it is written in small letter, then the conversion will change. This is mathematical because usually it will express as the way it is used to be, in the reflection of the packaging of the food we buy in the market, in the nutritional facts, right? Or in the ingredients listed in your products, both especially related to medicine, pharmaceutical product, or anything, paint, at the back or somewhere in the body of the product, it will be reflected there in, okay, the calories, kilocalories, everything. But really applicable for intake. Okay, get the point? Food, liquid substances only. Okay, because we don't need to burn paint. We don't eat paint, right? So this is only for food substances, liquid substances like that, blah blah, so and so. Now, if you see the appearance will change, then apply this. Okay, this will matter also because, for example, to those people who do the diet, things like that, and you are conscious how many calories you burn, and then if you have an app also of calorie, how much you, especially if you walking, how many steps, 10,000 steps, and you lose how many calorie, how many kilocalorie, and you did not even recognize what is a big calorie and a small calorie. There's a difference. See, 1 big calorie is equals to 1,000 small calorie. Get the point? And you are happy, very happy because, I lose so many calorie, but take note the letter, big C and small c. Meaning if you lost 1,000 small calorie, that is only 1 big calorie. 1 big calorie meaning the first letter is capital C. Okay? 1 small calorie, the first letter is small letter C. That's why I told you, you always look for the first letter of the word. Things like that. So that you can easily detect, okay, the conversion factor for that. Things like that. Diba? Okay. Okay. Now, let's compute now. This is the operation is really basic. Even an elementary student can do this. But the concept is, it's not easy to absorb, right? Okay? You get the point? It also misleads sometimes. Okay, you get the point? Things like that. So question number 1, we need to answer question number 1. Okay? So how many big calorie in 25,100 calories, small calorie? So we have 25. Okay. In math, guys, you will start with a given. Okay? Then you go you go from left to right. Okay, in the conversion, long conversion process, away of solving the problem. Because there are two ways. We can solve the problem through applying formulas, and we can also solve problems through long conversion factors starting from left to right. You get the point? This not involve most of the time the formulas. Based only on your thinking. Blah 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 so and so on. You will try to put there. Okay. If you're an engineer, you know what I mean. You will from left to right and then denominator and you will cancel like that mga na siya. Ganon! Okay? You get the point? Kaloka. Okay, so 25,100 small calorie. Let's do the long hand conversion process. Ha? 55,100 small calorie and then like this. Okay. Like that. So, since we need to go to the big calorie, so we need to cancel the denominator. So we need to start with 1,000 small calorie. Okay, is equals to 1 big calorie as our conversion. I told you a while ago, right? Memory register, please. Okay, and then you will cancel the small letter calorie. And what will remain? Big calories. So calculator, please. Mga alipores, show me the calculator. Now, taray ha. Okay, 25,100. I'm very, very happy, guys, you know. Okay. 25.1. So this is gonna be 25.1 big calorie. Okay. All you have to do is to move 3 places from left. Move 1, 2, 3, 10, period. That's why 25.1. If you are really that kind of high intelligence quotient, you don't have to do this because it will just flash in your brain cells like this, and it will be like that already. Especially if you have a fast IQ, math IQ. Okay. Question number 2. How many small calorie in 78.5 big calorie? So reverse, right? It's gonna be like that. I give a very easy and basic problems, worded problem, because you know we need to know the concept only. The rest it will be modified a little bit difficult. At least you know the foundation. You got the point. Oh, just like constructing a building. We need to build the foundation first so that it will become strong. Okay? Because when typhoon comes, earthquake comes, it will not basically collapse if your foundation are very, very strong. Okay? The trusses like that in your floorings, footings. I'm not a civil engineer, but that's gonna be the setup of the design of your building, especially if your construction materials are concrete blocks and bricks, things like that. Okay? So, more on that, basic into half foundation. Okay, it's gonna be like 78.5 big calorie is equal to 1 big calorie and 1,000 small calorie at the top. Is the conversion factor, then calculator please. Okay, like that. I need to use the calculators because you know sometimes when we move like that, we will be in error also. Okay, got the point? To make it safe. Okay, you got dapat mga palangga akong hitad. It's gonna be like that. Okay, so if you know the technique, then you don't have to use the calculator also. Okay, 78,500. Okay, 78,500 big, small calorie. Okay, like this. So how many small calorie? I'm just expressing small calorie because okay, writing and speaking is not the same. You get the point? Visualization and speaking will not have the same impact during discussion. Okay, to ensure the clarity of my discussion, I have to emphasize the big, the small, because it's not easy also to emphasize by this appearance only here. Okay? You get the point. Number 3. How many big kilocalorie in 1,875 small calorie? Oh, this one. Okay? Big, ha? Okay, so let's try to be quite shorter. Okay, mga palangga. Gising pa ba kayo, mga palangga ang buktag? It's gonna be a beautiful first day. I think so, right? Okay, it's gonna be like that. Thanks God we're alive. Every day of our life, we need to thank our Lord, our God, that every second and minute, He extends our life in this planet Earth. Okay? Do I say it correctly or not? Yes, I'm correct. So we do appreciate all the good things around us that God gives to us daily attitude. Okay, going back to question number 3. Okay, we have how many big kilocalorie in 1,875 small calorie? Okay, solution. Okay, so 1,875 small calorie, ganon. Okay, then 1,000 small calorie, ganon, is equal to 1 big calorie. Okay, so 1 big calorie, okay, and kilocalorie. You should understand that one. So kilo means times 10 to the 3. Now, it doesn't matter whether big or not, as long as it is capital, times 10 to the 3, times 10 to the 4, it will follow the prefixes in math. That's why I'm very consistent. If you want to take engineering course, memorized all the prefixes in mathematics. Okay? Try to be strict in first step in your first year college in engineering. Memorize the exponential. Okay? So that you can apply that in your second year college going to fifth year college, especially if you're aiming to become a top-notcher. Okay? Get the point? It's gonna be like that. Okay? So from 10 to the 1 to 10 to the 18 exponent. What's the value of that? What's the name? Okay, from 10 to the negative 1 to 10 to the negative 18. Okay, things like that. Okay? Okay, very clear. Okay, 1 big calories. 10 to the 3 calorie. Ganon. Big calories. So 1 big kilocalorie. So cancel. Okay. If cannot cancel, then don't force. Okay, because you are not following the right method. Things like that. Calculator, please. Okay. It's gonna be like 1875. Okay, divided. Oh my gosh. So 1,000 memory recall. Okay, times memory recall, sure ako dito. 1 million. Okay, 1,875 divided by memory recall. Okay, memory recall. Okay, you got the point? You can still remember this, right? Okay, so it's gonna be 1.875 times 10 to the negative 3. Okay, negative yung exponent. So, 1.875 times 10 to the negative 3. Okay, got the point mga palangga. 1.875 times 10 to the negative 3 kilocalorie in 1,000. So it's gonna be moving only also, right? Zeros. See from here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. It's gonna be 1.875 times 10 to the negative 3. Okay, number 4, last. Okay. Very clear, right? Get the point? So like this. Okay. So this unit of color is very common in physics and chemistry. And in biochemistry, in medical science as well. In nutrition, things like that. In biotechnology, in food processing industry, fermentation industry. Okay? Those are products that can be taken into the human being internal digestive system, right? Things like that. You get the point. or inside our body, generally. Get the point? Things like that. Number 4, how many gram calorie in 1 kilocalorie? Small, all are small. Oh my gosh. Okay, here it needs a little bit of memorization. Okay, get the point? Really? Yes, memorization talaga siya, guys. Okay? So, it's gonna be like that. Okay? So, it's gonna be, for example, based on my memorization, 1 gram is equals to 2.7176 okay, kilocalorie. Things like that. Okay? Then you can compute for the gram by this conversion. 2.7176 something. Never mind by the point something. Okay? Because actually, in the examination, it doesn't need to be perfect. Okay? Things like that. Okay? Especially if the examination are multiple choice. Meaning to say, it has to do something with your conversion with the point something here, a little bit of sepia. But at least more closer. Okay, you got the point? Because based on my memorization, I got it 2.7176, 2.7276, and that is gonna be like that, okay? So, in the benefit of a doubt, let's just use this. If my memory fail, okay, just correct me, right? We are not perfect. Okay, let's say this retained in my, hippocampus part of my brain, thalamus, central nervous system. Okay, so 1 gram is equal to 2.7176 kilocalorie. Okay, just, assuming the benefit of the doubt, then you can correct me later on for the purpose of your discussion, right? So like that. So how many gram calorie and kilocalories? So, sir, how can we do that? Nagsikit siya. Okay. Now guys, there's a lot of, even me when I was in college, I was really confused because ako mga guys is a type of a student that ako siyang tukion. I cannot sleep if I cannot understand in a day. I cannot sleep if I cannot solve the problem. Things like that. Okay? You get the point? Things, so, especially if I cannot do my assignment, I cannot sleep also. Things like that. So, pasigurista. That's, okay? Quality gida siya guys ha. Ganon. So that you will learn a lot. Okay? Ipalabya ba nga? Okay, raoy nga. Makuha na ka, mga muti na ka dito. Kaya wala man mo tuki ah. Okay, you got the point? So you need to remember the why or why. Always like this in your brain cells. Why or why? Why? Because why is the most intelligent question of all the W's. Okay, right? When, where, who, why, like that. To ask starting why is the most intelligent question because you have to explain, you have to reason out analytically using your critical thinking. Because if you just ask who, it's very easy to say the name. If you say where, it's very easy to say the place. Okay, but why it needs a statement, support and justification why your answer. So it's gonna be, this is the most, measuring the intellectual capacity of individual, things like that. This is not my opinion only, okay? You get the point? So why or why, things like that. This is my technique. Okay? And if I cannot answer the why, then I must dig it up. Things like that. I will go to the library, buwis buhay, things like that. Okay? Then until such time I can understand na. Okay. For example, if I cannot understand in one book, I will go to another book that presents the discussion in a clear manner. Because there are different authors present it in a nice way, in an understandable way. So you have to scan like this, different authors like that. I will spend my time most of the times, and then sometimes I will sleep in the library, and the library will say, "Sir, we are closing now." And then I'm sleeping, things like that. Okay? With the book, with the table. Oh my gosh. Like school, I don't have choice because the other students are very fast because they taught that already when they are still in high school. Especially, I have to tell the truth. mag-disclaimer ko dili. Okay. Sorry guys, I have to mention okay, especially to the CIT University product. If you are a public school, then problem also sometimes, okay, because they're very very advanced. Okay, especially the Don Bosco Technical School, most of them are studying CIT. And also the Science High students will study also CIT. And some also of the UP High School will study in CIT. Things like that. It could not be denied year by year. That's why, some top notchers will be in CIT. I'm not telling things like that. Just like to the girl who was valedictorian in Don Bosco. Shout out Engineer Ivy Adlawan. Engineer Ivy Adlawan is valedictorian in Don Bosco. Okay, she is my classmate in chemical engineering. And another one also is salutatorian in the Cebu University. Things like that. And also, I also know that like that in high school, but it's totally different if, the school are not really that, you know what I mean, not complete in resources. Okay, though the teachers are very good and experienced, it's totally different if the resources in your library are some missing, not updated. So it will also matter. You get the point? Why it matters? Because not all teachers can really explain all their lessons they follow. Sometimes they cannot also finish all. Okay? Then the students also have their time to go to the library to make initiative to also learn what are the topics are not yet discussed by the teachers and instructors. Ganun kasi ako eh. You get the point. If the teachers will stop in that particular topic, there's still some she did not finish, things like that. And I will be the one to go to the library to explore more what the topic is all about, like that. Even though she did not discuss things like that, or he did not discuss, they will just give a homework, an assignment, blah blah blah, so and so, and very fast. None. They are very very fast to get the homework and assignment, and they did not even disclaimer again guys. Not all instructors naman talaga okay, they are really wanted to submit on time, but they did not discuss very well. Things like that. You get the point? And some students will suffer. You get the point? But because that is not the correct way of dealing the subjects well, because they are also to do their job. Things like this, okay? You got the point. But not all disclaimer, not all. Some also will do their job very, very well. Okay? You got the point. I'm just telling the truth. So it's gonna be like that. Okay? Just follow the why or why. And if you cannot understand, okay, go to the library, explore more apart from your instructors. Okay? Because two or more heads are greater than one. There is only one head for your instructor, right? About that particular topic. And there are more heads in the library because those are different authors. Okay? They are just dying. They are just died. Because that was in the past. But talking about the heads. Okay, there are more heads are better than one. Right? Get the point. Things like that. So, it's gonna be like that. So, kung ito nila mo, 1 gram calorie. Okay, ganon. Okay. Then, 1 kilocalories mo siya kanan. Okay, guys, mga palangga kong kita. Okay. So, sabi ko, 1 gram, based on my memorization, 2.7176 kilocalorie. Okay, going back to this. Guys, if it doesn't put dash, okay, nag-isikit na ganit siya, guys. There's a space. Okay, that's understood to be like a multiplication, partner in crime. It's just the same saying, gram, close and open parenthesis, calorie, close and open parenthesis. Okay? Things like that. You get the point, mga palangga. If putting a dash, meaning you cannot split it up. You cannot split, that is combined unit. You get the point? Things like that. You cannot split. But since there's no dash, there's a space, it's understood to be a partner. Okay, just like a multiplication. Let's say 2x and 3y. So this 2x, 3y. Meaning to say 2x, 3y, that means 6xy. Because they are putting in the same level beside. Charot. Okay, you got anak siya. Okay, so let's say we apply that. So gram times calorie, it's still gram calorie. Let's just put the analogy that these words are numbers. Okay, so gram times calorie, let's say 1 times 2 is equals to 2. So meaning to say gram times calorie is also gram calorie. Right? So when you do the conversion factor in this manner, because guys, this is not common also in discussion, this one. Because usually our teachers will always use 1 unit. Have you ever experienced we solve thousands of problems in our engineering subjects? Have you noticed we were not dealing most of the times of units 2? Okay? Always 1 unit. Okay? Agree or not? Horsepower, only horsepower. It doesn't say horsepower dot this horsepower dot let's say mole. There's no such like that, right? So always 1 unit lang talaga siya. Especially unit of measure dealing with extrinsic property, you know, in substances, phase of matter, physical phases of matter, things like that. You get the point? So ano rin mo siya guys? So gram, calorie, ito na rin mo that. Kilid naman na siya. Okay din. Calorie, 1,000. Okay. Calorie. Okay. Is equals to 1 kilocalorie. So cancel, cancel, and what will be left is gram. And then you have still the kilocalorie. Now, the basis of your calculation is 1 kilocalorie. Okay. Basis of calculation. Okay. Medyo kay basis of calculation so that makansil-kansil ang mga chuba-chucho. Okay, get the point? So, times 1 kilocalorie, cancel na siya, 1 gram na lang mahabilin. Okay, get the point? Ganon. Anak siya naman palaga kung ito ha. Para na naman ako alam mga solution. Always the basis of calculation will be 100 grams. The other one will be understood. Okay? Pero, if you follow really the appropriate, you can understand that also by details. For example, 14% of ethyl alcohol, like that. What comes first in your mind? It is mass percentage or volume percentage. Right? Then you will try according to the percentage by mass, principle in chemistry. Okay? So, if that falls there, meaning that percent declared in that particular chemical is referring to mass percent. If after your computation will be the same on that reflected on the chemical, that is volume percent, percentage by volume. You get the point? Since you want to be understood, since most of the liquids also are understood to be percentage by volume because that is liquid. Normally, it is by volume, but we don't know also. To make sure, maybe they started with a solid and dissolved that in a solution. That's another story, right? Okay. Some also solutions start from a solid and they dissolve it, and then after that they stir. Things like that, and it will become a solution. That is another thing. That's another way also. Okay. So let's say, for example, 36% HCl concentrated. Okay, what this mean all about when you buy in the market? We are sure that this is a 36%. This is a concentration, referring how strong the acid really is. Okay, because it determines the how the acidity and the basicity of a substance, things like that. Okay, and the strength, things like that. Tama ba ako strength? It's gonna be like, Hoy, chemistry students, strength ba yan? Okay. Concentration. Okay, like that. Concentration is gonna be, we're talking for synonyms here. Concentration is referring to strength, right? And then it's gonna be also saying solubility. Okay? So these words are were used most of the times, repeated in a problem. They will choose what they want to put. A concentration of blah 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 so and so, but sometimes also they will modify the strength of blah 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 so and sometimes so solubility of blah blah blah. But the, they are only trying to confuse the examinee if they really understand what is that all about. So some students will focus now to the percentage only because that is concentration. But you need to understand also what is that, the distinction, the difference, so that so kung nagtuwad-tuwad, makasabot yung what is that all about. That's the advantage. So we should avoid generalities. We should avoid generalities in our study. We should always be specific in everything. Okay? Dili magsugod ang tuki. You get the point? Tuki on jud mo ba? Okay? If the lawyers are really, digging it up, why it happened, what happened, and who killed. Same thing also in chemicals. You should also investigate why like this. Okay, so that you will understand. Okay, things like that. Okay, 36% is CL, so it is concentration. Okay, at the point. Now, it is a volumetric percentage by volume, or for percentage by mass. So, di ba? Maglibog na kagamay. So, since that is liquid, i-assume rin mo nga by volume. It's granted to be okay because most of the liquids are like that. How about the form is like a gelatinous solution? Okay, you cannot expect always the time that is percentage by volume. Okay, or for example, in the atmosphere, you cannot expect always that it's percentage by mass, percentage by volume. So how can you do that? You will really compute. Okay, you got the point. Ganon. For example, balik sa parmasatan nyo na ito lahat. Okay. Mga palangga. Nakita ko ninyo guys? Yes, nakita dyan ko. Thank you, Lord. Okay. Nakakaon na ba ang tanan? Okay, nakakaon na dyan ko yun. Hala, paminaw na mo. Mga una kaog. Kuan, science. Okay, here. Okay. Ganon, diba? Percentage. This is a little bit of review just to explain. This is related to the conversion factor we explained a while ago. Okay? So, percentage by volume. So, meaning to say, volume of solute over volume of solution times 100. Okay. Now, percentage by mass, memoryin lang niyo siya ha, stock knowledge. Okay, mass of solute. As I told you, you don't have to review if you engrave that in your brain cells. Okay, mass of solute. Okay, inakubakakon guys. Okay, mass of solution. Okay. Especially if that is your specialization. Okay, times... It's not a reason that it's a long time ago that I take that profession. No, it's not. Because these are basic. For example, if you are a chemical engineer, you cannot remember this. This is very basic. It's not an excuse that it was 30 years ago. No, it's not. Because this is only chemistry. You get the point? Things like that. You don't say, I forgot. Okay? Let's say, what is the formula of density? And you will say, I forgot because it was, I take my chemical engineering in 1960s. No, it's not. If you really understand, it should be engraved in your brain cells up to now. Sorry. Okay? Maybe my standard is so high, but it's gonna be like that. Sorry po. Okay? Times 100. Sorry talaga. Okay. Ay kung yung awaya ha, kaya mo na akong understanding. Okay? You get the point. If you understand really what you studied, put by your heart, and you really understand in day-to-day life, you can never forget that. You get the point. Things like that. Ganon. Then if you forgot, then you will try to derive by your own in a sheet of paper without referring anything yet. Okay, this is good measuring your memory. So I don't encourage to go directly to the mobile data. It's not the way of sharpening our brain cells. Really, 100%. It taught us to be dependent. Okay? So we should stand by our feet that we are really engineers. Okay? Secondary only sources. First, our stock knowledge and acquired knowledge in our school. Things like that. Okay? Hi, nako. Okay, so it's gonna be like that. So, volume of solute over volume of times 100. Okay, volume of solution and mass of solution is gonna be the basis of your calculation. Okay, things like that. Okay, usually 100 grams mass like that. And for volume is gonna be usually 1000 milliliter. Like depends. Okay, like that. Now, biingon ko yung mga palangga ng hitan. Okay. Diba? Si Lord dihatag nato og 79% na nitrogen. Unsa ni siya by volume or by mass? Imo po siyang una-unaon nga it's a gas. And it's very far if you will say percentage by mass. You should say percentage by volume, right? So, ano ni mo siya? Okay? Ganon. 21% oxygen. Ganon. 79% nitrogen. These are all in air. Okay? Air mixture. So this is pure air mixture without contamination. So, this is the time of Jacob, Abraham, Muhammad in the past, in which our environment is so clean. There's no such, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, because there's no car before, 2,000 years ago, like that, they just walk by feet without sleeper, there's no car, so there's no pollution, there's no air pollution. So, that time is ideal. Meaning to say, the air mixture is only oxygen and nitrogen. Now, we cannot expect so many. You get the point? So many oxides. Okay? Oxides of nitrogen, oxides of magnesium, oxides of calcium, everything like that. That's why the 21% here will be lower like this. Okay? But the 79 nitrogen, very good, still steady, because this is an inert gas. This is unreactive. That's why the number or the person stays the same. Okay? So, being inert, meaning to say it's not reactive, meaning this is not flammable. You get the point? Muli yun na puntaan sa katungkuan ron, Lewis structure chemical bonding sa ammonia. Kung tetragonal ba siya, tetrahedral, tetragonal, karamihan. Mahal ako. Okay, so it's gonna be like that. So air mixture, gano'n siya tuba-tucho. Okay, now, 21% and 79%. Ano? So, imo na i-apply diri ari ang percent tuba-tucho. So, malagay ka nga, okay, so, 21% is equal to the volume of oxygen over the volume of air. Okay, like that. So I can solve the volume of oxygen later on if I have the volume of the total air. Your basis of calculation. Now, how can I get the volume of air? That's too complicated. But if you study science, it's also a built-in concept. Okay, it's gonna be on the ideal gas law. Because recalling back, I said here, perfect. There's no contamination. So that's the meaning of an ideal gas, meaning perfect behavior. There's no contamination. It will follow ideally. Almost perfection, in English, ideal. Find your ideal woman. Find your ideal man. It's the same thing, ideal gas. Okay? Only putting description in another noun. Okay? Ideal plan, ideal dream. But it happens, this is science, ideal gas. Things like that. So, if there are a lot of contamination, it's not ideal anymore. Ay, pugsa ang PDNRT, ha? Because the point, kinaanad ka permi, PDNRT dyan permi, kung kuan, air ng mga problem solving na kaloka. Here also, volume of air, klaro kaya tuloy mo siya call sa PDNRT because this is ideal. So, na naki-volume ni ani gayon na makuha yung mga volume of oxygen. Get the point? Ganon. Or, you can take also the molecular weight, chupa-chucho, and go to the stoichiometric relationship in a chemical reaction, things like that. Okay? Saan na ni Muron? So, there's another method, ha? Chemical reaction stoichiometry. Okay? Then compare your results. If that is very, very near, then you are correct in different concepts you made. Because it agrees. Meaning, you maximize your understanding not only to one requirement to get the answer of that particular question. There's a lot of options and alternatives. Okay, you got the point. So that is first. The second also, you need to use the chemical reaction. Okay, air chemical reaction. Ganon. Nakaloka. Okay, air chemical reaction. Ideally or ideal. Okay? So, let's get straight. Our world of today is not already ideal, ha? This already non-ideal. Because, you know, there's a lot of gases due to 1,800 years ago, 1800s revolution in which it produces pollution to air, water, and soil. Okay, especially the degradation of the ozone layer due to global warming, which is the greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, climate change. Okay, things like that. And there's also a problem of acid rain hazards. We need to say the rain now will produce an acid. And it can cause also rusting process in different pipelines. So it will become a problem by nature. Okay? So that's why we have water treatment chemicals to treat that also, to protect the integrity and the sustainability and the quality of the outer layer of our pipelines. Things like that. Okay? Not only acid rain, other environmental factors, okay, that will affect the, you know what I mean. Okay, that's the point. So, it's gonna be like that. So, isang topic reaction na nilagay yun ng mga palangakulitan. Wala sa Sotero, anak na sa Sotero? Yes. Okay, so N2 plus O2. Okay, is equals to, saan may nimuron? N2 plus O2. Kani siya, guys, dagdag possibility, pwede siya ma-NO2, N2O. Like this. Okay, unsa man jud ang appropriate aning chemical reaction? Ano man, usay mga lagpot man ang subscript dito. Tukion, dili man kay imo kanang imo ra siyang memorya ba nga murag okay mao man nga pattern ang kuan ako sa niinan. Dili siya nga na ha. Okay, tukion jud nimo ngano ang iyang prinsipyo nganong na siya gisunod nga pamaagi sa iyang behavior. Yang kinaiya, ganon. Kinaiya ni oxygen o kinaiya ni nitrogen. Ganon. So, unsa ni siya? NO2 or N2O? Like that. Duha ka product imong i-tuki. Lang, pwede man sa inyo. Pwede sa lagi na siya, sir. Ganon. Kasi pwede sa mo into O5. Dinitrogen pentoxide. Things like that. Usay ganyan, pwede sa siya mo in O3. So, unsa jud ay basis ani sa Sotero. Ganun na yon. Okay. Now, muna namang timan-an, the first thing to do, what are the elements there? Should be present in the product. Ayaw ibutang kung wala, diha ha. Yung kalit lang butang H, wa man na diha sa imong raw materials. Muna siya imong unang hinumduman. The point, kung unsa to na sa imong raw materials, kato nga mga element na apod dito sa product. Okay? Could either exist as an element or a compound also or a partnership with another element. Ganon. Okay. So ako na siyang idikit. Si balikan si oxygen o si nitrogen nagbiga-biga. Okay? You get the point. So hindi ko man nagbiga-biga, nidikit dahil sila. Yung si NO. Dikit-dikit, mura nag-date na yun. Pag nilang bangga, something like that. Okay, NO na yun. Now, in ani ganit guys, maglibog ka usay subscribe ani, ana-ana. Go to the valence electrons in the outermost shell. Sa periodic table. So always look at it in the electronic configuration. Okay, the SPDF subshell like that. This is my memory ulit. Principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, things like that. Okay, what else? The other one? The rotational, okay, and the speed, angular speed of one electron, SPDF, okay, like the subshells, okay, things like that. So, mukhaan ka ito, based on valence electrons in the outermost shell. For example, nitrogen, how many valence electrons in the outermost shell? Ganon. Oxygen, how many electrons in the outermost shell? Ganon. Diba? Pwede sa kang direct-direct kung gusto dyan ka. Marami mo, okay? So, pwede sa charge. Okay? Bungkago ni mo to. Nitrogen to. Oxygen to. Ganun. Sa oxygen, negative 2. Butang. Nitrogen, pila man. Ibutang sa demi mo. Pila may kuhan sa nitrogen. Charge ano niya. Daghan baya. Okay? Kasi pwede sa siya mo 3. Kinamantay nitride. N3, nitride na siya. Okay? Yeah, nitride. Inasad tayo, kuan, diatomic, N2. So, diatomic nitrogen is N2. Nitride is N3. And a solo flight N is just nitrogen. Okay, you got the point? So, it exists in different isotopes. Something like that. Just like hydrogen, like plutonium, deuterium, tritium, like that. And then later on converted to helium. And this is the heat of the sun. Things like that. Okay, that's the point. So, i-anak ko siya. Okay, nakakaloka, diba? Ganon. So, imutimala sa nitrogen, it's either 3 and 5. Okay, so, look for which is more stable of condition of nitrogen. Go to the 5. Okay na, 5 iyang banding chuba-chucho. Asa man din mo masabtan sa iyang katong valence shell. Lagi kayo, group 5 man siya sa periodic table. Uy, sakto ba kong memory? Group 5? Nakakaloka. Tayo pa sa carbon, group 4. Fluorine, group 7. Oxygen, group 6. Sorry, I have to think a little bit. Okay, sikit. O, sikit man siya. Okay, so this is 5, nitrogen. 5. Hinga. Valence electron in the outermost shell. Ganon. Okay. Ganon. So, itry niyo mo first ang NO2. Kani siya NO2 primero niyo may ikuan. O, mabalance na rin na siya. Okay? Okay. Papasa na mo. Okay, kung dito ka sa N5 guys, no, ang rule mo sa kuan, start ka sa gamay na subscribe. Start with at least a very simplified subscribe a number of atoms before going higher. That's the rule. Okay, get the point? Di mo kalit saka na yun. Maglisod makag-balance. Okay, get the point? Anak siya. Okay. So, gano'n. I'll go first, ha? Alayag-yag. Naku, maglipog na yun ka. Wala, nitrogen, oxygen. Kisa may mukuha na ni mo backbone. Si nitrogen baka si oxygen. Magsangka mo ni silang duha. Yan, imo din yung naon. Bisaya ko sa na. Okay. Imo din yung naon na ang oxygen kay bigaon ra ba kay ni. So yun naman bigaon ng si oxygen. Kay reactive man kay ni siya. Asa na siya pa doon. I-inhale na siya sa tanan. Sa plants, sa living organism, or talang process sa planet Earth, ang oxygen, maugid siya nag-dominate. Reactive man. Okay, ganon. That's why oxygen is the most abundant element in the planet Earth. Get the point? Things like that. Okay, discovered by Jules Presley. Okay, like that. So, NO. So, magpili ka rin na, sir, saan ba itong ikot? Si nitrogen, sir, or si oxygen? So, syempre, ang imong i-outer ang oxygen, jud, reactive man jud siya permi. Tama na mga kuan, nitrate, nitrite, ganon. Okay? So, ang imong ito nga, si nitrogen, si oxygen, imong ipasa-pasa. 1, 2, 3, ganon. So, murag 3 lang ni siya because kung i-4 ni wa man tay in 4. Okay? Wa man tay tetra nitrogen exist in nature. Tulo raman, nitride, nitrogen gas, and the soul of life, nitrogen. The N only. Okay? So wala man tay mga in-4, in-5. So ari gid sa katong simplest muna ang dikit na tulo ra sa ha. Ganon. You get the point, so. Na siya. 1, 2, 2. Now, kay tulo naman yung i-represent, wala magpasabot na dili na sabi mo suwat ang iyang unshared electron sa nitrogen. Igutan niyo pa mo ang duha. Here, kay 5 ba ito kung iyon valence? 5 valence electrons in the outermost shell of this nitrogen. So, na doon nabilin o chuva. Ganon. Okay. So, ang oxygen po na yun, nagkuanta guys, nag-chemical bonding through Lewis dot structure. Okay? Ato i-determine kung mga covalent ba siya, kaya makatabang mo na siya guys sa chemical reaction. Okay? Ganon. So, 6 ka electrons nakuha ang usa, pinipasa dito ni nitrogen, ganon. Ganon. Okay, naman siya kung ano. Excess. Daghan kayo siya excess. 5. This is 5. This is 5. So, ang excess niya, 15 excess electrons of oxygen not shared. And 2 electrons of nitrogen and shared. So, this is okay, non-polar covalent, polar covalent band. Sorry guys. Polar covalent band. So, NO3 is really polar compound. Okay, meaning conductive to electricity. Okay, the more we have excess electrons not shared, the more we can determine that this compound is highly conductive to electricity. That is the requirement. Okay? Then if there's no excess electrons, so most of the time they will not conduct electricity. Because they cannot react to another, from one point to another point. Things like that. You get the point. Ana siya mga. Okay. Ganon. Okay? So, atong po na diri. Okay. Ganun din. Mabutan na kag-negative to the reari. Okay. Diba? Ganon. O diba? Klaro na mga palangga kong gitad. Na ibutang diri ari kay imo mo siya ibalhin-balhin. Mabutang na nimo ang 2 diri. N2O3 like that. Muna siya ang primero nimo nga option sa pag-produce og N2 plus O2. So, imo din i-balance dayon. Until such time, wala na siya, kanang example na siya, until such balance dayon, muna na siya. Kay, after na, mag-produce ka mga N2O5. Okay. Because I don't memorize. Okay? Like that. So, N2O. Like that. And NO2. Because this N2O2, there's a lot of product will be produced. Then if you think this will be balanced completely, then this will be the correct product. Because, you know, if it is not really the correct product, even though million times you balance the chemical, it will never be balanced. Mamatay na lang ka. Okay? That's the magic of chemistry. If your product is wrong, it will never be balanced. Okay? Bisag patyon pa ka, di jud na siya mabalance. Bisag di mao ang yang product na ma-produced. So that's why, magpili na ka nga 4 options. Because ako yung mabalance perfectly mo na yung product. Because this is on the spot also, ha? Okay, that's the points. Sa'yo naman na siya balance, tuturo naman na siya, guys. Okay? Di mo atong topic is good. You get the point? Sa'yo na ba kaya nakangkita balancing? Ay, sorry! Masipyan na po akong bakbak. Akong point that sa'yo siya basta makakuha ka sa technique. You know really what's the technique. So the technique in chemical balancing, ako na lang i-summarize before I end this vlog. Okay, ano na lang siya. Okay. 1, total number of atoms in the left should be equal. Okay. Equal to the right. Okay. This is not individual, not total. So just like debit and entry in accountancy, right? You enter the amount, it should be equal. You entry, you debit, you entry, you debit. Something like that also, things like that. Okay? Total number of atoms in the right. Now, if it will never be equal, meaning to say, that is not balanced and that is not the correct chemical reaction. Okay. Number 2, obey steady state condition, the law of continuity. The law of continuity as per the law of conservation of mass. Okay. So you must understand the law of conservation of mass, the law of conservation of energy, the law of multiple proportion, the law of definite proportion before going further in second year college, third year college, fourth year college, so that you will understand really the concept. Okay, you got the point. I should move proceed dayon sa kanang mga lisod kaayo, ha? Sabta jud ninyo ang sa tong mga law. Okay, diha mo masabtan jud. Okay, you get the point. So, based siya sa law of conservation of mass. Okay, driven by the law of conservation of energy. Okay. Then, memorize the laws that are very easy to understand first. Okay, like this. For example, mass. Okay, or matter balance. Guys, ang starting yun ninyo guys, no? Atong equal na sequence ha. So, if you love chemistry, para masabtan yun na to. Ang primero ninyo guys, no? Law of conservation of matter. Musunod dahil na siya ang law of conservation of energy. Musunod dahil na siya ang law of conservation of mass. Musunod dahil siya ang law of conservation of atoms. Musunod dahil siya ang law of conservation of momentum. Katungkang Isaac Newton sa physics. Okay? Law of conservation of momentum. whether na-conserve siya or dili. You get the point? Sa itong mga billiard. Di ba problem solving? What is the velocity of one ball over the other when the ball is pushed in, let's say, football, things like that, billiard, like that, or trajectory problems like that, okay, projecting, mga gano'n ka. Okay, there's a lot, okay. It's gonna be like that. Okay. So, unsa man siya ang tinugdan ining tanan sa law of conservation of matter? Niara dito guys, matter can neither be created nor can be destroyed, but it can only be transformed by ordinary chemical means. Okay? You get the point? Ano siya? So, di ko na siya may tabo kung what siya yung mga chemical means nga may tabo. So, di siya mausap. Di ma-alter. Composition will not alter, will not change if there's no chemical means or operation that involves chemicals. Ganon. Okay. Pwede nga na ako, nagbugha kang kahoy. Kahoy naman niya po na siya, hindi ka bugha ni mo. There's no alteration of the, of the composition of the kahoy. Pero kung imong giborn ang kahoy, ni black man siya, it turns to ashes. That means there's a change of the appearance of the form of the kahoy. So muna siya, chemical na siya, chemical reaction na siya. So, yung identification ng chemical reaction, no? Heat, things like that, burning, taste, odor, appearance, and the form, things like that. It does not involve like that. That's still physical change. Okay, got the point? Ganon. So, any questions so far? So, muna siya, ang steady state. Kung sa steady state, guys, mutunga rin po sila si Bernoulli equation, how to fly an airplane, principle, because the airplane cannot fly without Bernoulli theorem concept in physics. Because it's not easy to let the airplane fly without theory. Okay, meaning to say, all manufacturers of airplane are following the Bernoulli theorem, but in a high technology approach. Because the concept already are being established by the old scientists. It's very easy for them to manipulate the computer already, like so and so, but the concept is still from Mr. Bernoulli. You get the point? Ganon. Pressure, volume, velocity. Pressure, velocity, ganon sa mga region, stratosphere, ganon. Okay. Atmosphere, stratosphere, basta pala siya guys, hemisphere, sa patuwi. Began kayo exosphere. Charot. Basta ang last, ano guys, kuan, exo. Okay, exosphere. Di magsubod siya guys sa kuan guys, lithosphere. Okay, then hydrosphere. So, ikaw man lang guys, ano yung atmosphere. Ikaw man ang stratosphere. Ana ha, after that, may mga hemisphere. Ikaw man na mato nila sa mga inani na exosphere. Okay, mga region. Okay. As you can notice, there's a word sphere because during their discovery, the scientists used sphere as their object of scientific research. Put sphere every last term. And then the prefix is referring to the object or the matter. Let's say, lithosphere. Litho, it is a Greek term, means soil and land. That's why lithosphere. So, kasagaran ay pinaghuhugutan. That's why I told you, if you, by first look pa lang sa terminology, you can understand and you can create your own definition without referring to the book. You get the point? Like that, hydrosphere. I don't know the definition of hydrosphere because I don't memorize but since I know the terminology how it is being connected, right? Hydro means water, sphere meaning a reference, shape, just like a circle. Okay, sphere, volume 4/3 pi r cube, right? In algebra, volume of a sphere, ganon, di ba? Tama ba ko guys? 4/3 pi r cube. Ay, wala ka ba judge, anak? Sa tubala. Okay. And we have the atmosphere, meaning, atmo, it is the air part, AIR, of our planet Earth. That's why atmo. Still, Greek term for air. Okay? And then you have the strato. This is the level where the airplane only reach. Guys, when the airplane will reach EXO, the airplane will be burned. Okay? So all flying object is up to stratosphere only. Ha? It will never go beyond exosphere because this exosphere is the hottest region in the planet Earth. Dayo na kayo siya, padunan to siya sa universe. So, ang makalusot na lang ng mga kanang sa mga exploration nila sa kanang mga kuan, spaceship baron, nga ato siya like that. Usa pa na mga kuan nila nga ato siya sa moon, mga astronaut like that, ganon. Then, kung ato siya ka dito, paspason siya mo ang velocity. You should go at a very, very infinite velocity so that you will overcome the region exosphere. Because if your velocity is very low, you will be melted in the exosphere region. Okay? The analogy for that is, for example, if we get a lamp and there's a flame, if your finger will be like this very fast, you will not be burning your finger. The same also. Object in the exosphere, it's very fast, it will never also burn. That's also the concept. Okay? So, what yung makastay ani nga region, ha? Tanan masunog yun siya, guys. Super hot temperature. Millions and millions temperature. Degrees Celsius, okay? Muna siyang 10 to the 18. Okay, exo. I have 20 exabyte storage in my computer. Grabe, exabyte na. It's only 10 raised to the 18. Right? So, the highest storage of computer technology, because that is 10 raised to the power 18. Exabyte. More than terabyte. Petabyte, ganun, di ba? Mga ganun. Picobyte, nakakaloo ka. Okay, ganon. Thank you so much for watching this video. Rap lang niya siya. You know guys, what dan taguras ipiyag-yag tanan. Nakakaloka. Thank you so much. Bye bye. God bless everybody. See you later. Di ba guys? Okay, nakaka-orange na tanan. Ganon!